Hello there. Today we're going to give you an honest review of Stranded: Alien Dawn. This is a nice top-down survival game where you have some survivors and you run around and you order them what to do. So it's not a first person, which is usually what I want to do, is a first person game with management along the way. But this one here is just all about management and having them, do their priority on their task and building your base and worry about defenses. Now you do have a lot of things you can do in this game because there's 4 different scenarios that you can pick and choose from and or do them all. Which was I was on the way to doing. So yeah, you start off with the crash landing. You start off with no tech. You got to learn your tech. You got to defend yourself against attacks. Some bugs that get stronger and stronger every few days. And then you have to go out there and farm and gather resources and build your base up and build your defenses up and worry about the temperature and all your guys. And then you have to get them off world. That's the rundown of this one here. You crash land. You got to get your survivors off the world by building a communication device, and they send drop pods off one at a time. The next scenario is you start off, you get a trading ship, which is just, you can just order, you can hire survivors instead of finding them. Like on the first one, you can find some random survivors here and there from your group. But this one here, you can hire them, and you can just keep hiring as many as you want. I believe there might be a cap. I didn't reach the cap because I didn't really feel like it. But all you gotta do is make enough money by selling whatever you produce with the trading ships that pop in through the system once in a while, and then you get enough to actually buy the planet yourself, and then you own it, and then you're done. And then of course there's the military one. You start off with more tech. They give you some nice good gear to start off with. They give you 6 guys, so you're not starting from scratch and you just can jump in there and build a nice defensible base. And then you gotta, operate some device which, triggers more attacks on you. And then you gotta fend off those stronger attacks, which are, stronger than the first crash landing one. When you activate the pod system there to do that, they don't like that. And then of course there's the last one here, which I didn't actually try out yet. But it is, you get attacked by robots basically, right? You got 3 guys, and then you have another planet you gotta do with the same different thing going on there. But yeah, you have different choices on there. You have 3 different regions to choose from. You got a desert region. You got a desert one, and then you got the swamp one, and then you got the standard one that goes hot and cold basically. You got to worry about the hot and cold temperatures. So you got 3 different regions to choose from, and then you have the 4 different moons to choose from. So you got different backgrounds and different locations, and they're all randomly generated on seeds too, from where everything is located. So you have that for yourself. So yeah, we can go there and take a look what this game looks like. Now we'll just load up one of my games there. We'll just do this jungle run I did there. I wanted to try that one after on the first one because I like the first one the best, because you start off with nothing and you got to go from scratch, and you only get 4 survivors to start with, and then you can find some more randomly. So these guys are all just random ones, and I took what do you call it, intelligence guy for research guy, and then I got another research one, and they actually got married. So yeah, your guys can sit there and do that and get married. They have relationships, and then you have to worry about all that kind of stuff, and then you have all your different items you can see. So you can see everything that you have right there. So you can check out my food. You can see how much what I have a lot of, what I need more of. What I gotta tone down to get some more. You guys are all idle. You got different robots flying around here later on too, which are really awesome to get. You get to the delivery drone, then bam, you go over to your management and you go to your activities, and then you take it all off delivery. So yeah, don't bother with it. The drones can cover it, and you just need one of them basically to cover the whole thing until you get way later in the game and you want to do too much like I did, and I got 2. Yeah, then you go on there. You can build some nice big powerful mechs, which I totally recommend trying to do and find. But you have to get that by salvaging. Mostly because, unless you get lucky on the tech, because your tech is going to be random on the breakthroughs that you're going to get, and your guys might just say, hey, I'm going to learn this tech for you. But so you have to be able to have that research to actually learn the tech, the mech cores. If you can craft them yourself, you're golden, because they are so powerful. These guys right here, you stick a survivor in there, and then you can just, tell them to go there and attack stuff. It's really awesome. But you have your automated defenses systems with your different little sensors right there. So if this guy's too close to my base, I don't like it, I'm just going to click on the hunt button, and then it turns on and gets rid of them just like that. And then you got little attack drones, which I made a whole bunch of too. So I got 10 of these guys that fly around there. You can sit there and draft them manually, make them move around there. Okay, take out this guy. Attack that guy, not move there. They killed him off in 1 shot. They are pretty weak. That's why I got 10 of them, because they only do 10 damage, which is the weakest damage you can do. But they are still pretty nice. You can breed your animals, you grow your plants. This game has different layers. You know how top-down games are usually a pain in the ass with the layers and how you see stuff and you're zooming around. Well, you can just easily go to the next level. So here's this next empty level with my batteries and generators for backup. And then we go to the main level where we got the bedrooms, and then they have all their different tables and kitchens and foods and their workstations and storage areas that you got to assign and all that kind of stuff, and organize, and as you build outwards and defend your base from the attacks that happen like every 3 days, and then in between there you can get some random attack by like, you know, hungry pest or something like that, and it goes up there in the numbers because right now, what am I at for the year? So year 4, so the last attack I had was like 250 guys, but luckily I got enough of those cores to make 2 battle mechs, and they were enough to able to take care of it. And then I upped my defenses on the outside here because, you know, that could be bad at the end of the day. Meanwhile, my robots are out there scavenging the different wrecks because I want more cores, basically. I just, you know, fooling around there. But yeah, there's a lot of different plants, and then you got expeditions. So if you run out of anything, you can go over there and pick an expedition, and you'll find stuff. Like I found a random silicone deposit on there. I just go there and explore, and then you'll find something random. I got a spaceship to read. I can go there, some hunting grounds if I needed some food, cargo pod, and then there's special events, you know, events where you can find other survivors on there, but you know, they seem to be capped and slowed down once you get, you know, to 6 and stuff like that. So it's hard to get more after that. I'm surprised I got the 7th myself, but yeah, this is the general layout of the maps, and the jungle map is kind of different from the first one that you're probably going to try out there if you try this game out, because it's only hot, so it's a lot easier to manage on the clothes department, but they get jungle fevers and stuff. Oh cool, that's a mech right there. That little right there, that's a mech core. How much did I got now? 2. I can build another one. Awesome. So I'm going to just go over here quickly. I wasn't going to save anything because I was just running around there and doing that, but I'm going to save finding a core for myself because it might be random. I didn't actually check how random it is on the loot, but I don't think it's really that too random on it. It's going to be set once the thing drops and what it's going to be inside these things once you start salvaging them. But yeah, anyways. That is what, you know, the rundown of the game. It's very hard at the start of the game because these towers, you know, they break really fast, and you have to have your survivors on there, and they have no weapons to start with, so you have to quickly go over there and give them some basic bows and some spears that you got to craft, and you got to learn that technology to do that, so you got to have the guys on researching stuff fast. So yeah, it can get all complicated really fast, especially when you have to worry about hot and cold. And this one here is got to worry about the heat on there. Why does this guy have trousers on still? You should be wearing trousers. That, you know, doesn't have any heat tolerance. It's a negative for heat tolerance. Go put your summer pants on there, buddy. I guess they put stuff on randomly. I should just like get rid of it because it doesn't get cold in this map at all. But anyways, you know, the whole map is going to be randomly generated. You get different resources of different kind of plants that you're going to find for them, and then, you know, that kind of stuff will matter to them. So you have to go up there and observe all this stuff so you can learn it. So that's one of the other things you got to do. You just can't go there. Hey, there's a plant there. I'm just going to go there and build it. You know, and start farming it, whatever. You know, you have to go over there, and even the grass. If you want to grow some grass and get some hay for yourself, which I'm out of, so I gotta. You can easily click it and double click it there, cut the grass and get some hay since I'm out of it. That type of thing. And we've got these trees right here which I can harvest, and if I want to, or just click and harvest them all, but I can always check how much food I have on them. I got 500 of those, so I don't need any more of those at the moment. But yeah, you get the different plants, you gotta go there and observe them, and then you can go to your farm and do your farming there and grow your crops as you see fit, make your fields, and you got the fertilization stuff on there and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty neat. And then you got your little, you know, their standard version of cows, I guess, which grow up, and as they get fattened up there, they do a hell of a lot more meat and leather for themselves too. So they're pretty good, and they make poop, and you got to use the poop to make, you know, all your gas. You know, you need the gas for your running on the expeditions and crafting other things in there too. So it uses that to craft other things like silicones and the carbon nanotubes that you want to build for yourself to have the best stuff in the game. But anyways, this is like the rundown of the game right here. It has all this stuff going on there. So if you're interested in survival games and you want to do it and just, you know, do it by managing, there's a lot of management going on in this game too. You have your schedule. Like later on, you can say, hey, just do anything if you like it, because, you know, we're near the end of the day. But then you have the other things like their activities and what they're good and what they're bad at, and you can give them priorities and make sure they're doing stuff automatically that you want them to do. So yeah, like for example, I don't want them to go out there and scavenge because everything that I'm going to scavenge now is really, really far away, and then they're just going to end up, you know, getting tired and you know, need food and then running back again, or just end up dying for something stupid. Who knows what's going to happen? But there's not much about hostile enemies that you worry about. Just some alien nests here and there that you have to worry about. And fortunately, this map right here, it doesn't have the alien nests that give you the carbon nanotubes. It has alien nests that give you silicone instead. So yeah, that wasn't really I wasn't really happy about that, so I can't do an overabundance and make my whole base all carbon fiber stuff, which would be nice because it's so much better to use for defense on here. But anyways, this is the game. So yeah, that's why I'm hovering around the 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 range for me. But yeah, if you're interested, go ahead and try it out there. Even if it's a little bit older, it's still kind of neat to play. Maybe even come back to and try again. And yeah, just make sure when you're playing you actually have access to grain and antibiotics, or you're pretty much going to die right away if you're in the jungle, because everybody gets the jungle fever really fast, and if you don't have antibiotics, you can't make healing. You can't make healing packs, and they can't use the antibiotics to fix that. And then you guys are stuck with you're upset without a paddle, and just lay there in bed, and basically they'll starve to death if they don't get fed manually. And if you do work manually, they all might end up just dropping dead because you worked them too hard. Well, even though they look happy. But yeah, you can see what the weapons they have on there, and you can see all the different bonuses and things like that. If you're looking to play this game, I'm going to do a tips video that's going to pretty much involve all the ins and outs of making all your guys happy and stuff like that, and seeing what they can do. They need their gear, they need their different skills, which guys you're going to pick, what's going on there with their different stats over here, all that kind of stuff, and more importantly, make them happy and have them spacious bedrooms and playing all their different things that they can use to get all these different happiness buffs for themselves. Because if they're the happier they are, the better they're and longer they can work. So yeah, so that helps out a lot with their happiness, because they'll get really pissed off and just not want to work and throw fits and go on drinking benders and stuff like that, which is kind of funny in itself. Now watch your guys go on a drinking bender, you can't control them anymore, and then just kind of drink whatever you have available or eat whatever you have available and just keep eating, stress eating type thing for a couple minutes or whatever. What's this guy doing? I'm trying to pick up this stuff. Why are you planting this? Okay, well, it doesn't matter. But anyways, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you later.